Good morning. Good morning. It's Jess. I am sitting here and about to go have a meeting with one of you, but I wanted to do this quick video. My videos are always quick, you know that. Yeah, right, Jess? Half of them get cut off, so they do become quick. But anyways, I wanted to talk about a strategy that it's a very simple strategy, and many of you may already do it, I hope. But if you don't, it's kind of a common sense thing once you start to do it. But a lot of the time, our lives get so busy that we don't think that there's just a couple steps we can do to make sure that we don't forget to do a task and that we actually complete a task when it needs to be done. Have you ever felt like the whole day went by and you didn't do anything that you were supposed to do? I'm sure many of you are saying, oh my gosh, every day, right? It's because when we're not actually focusing on one task and not letting distractions take us off that path. Now, how can we do that? One, when you are doing some type of a meeting, say you're meeting with somebody and you're having a one-on-one or whatever, or a conversation on the phone, it's very important to make sure that you cut out all distractions. Now, I have to tell you, in the beginning of my business, I didn't do this. I had my phones going off, and the reason why is because I care about, I wanted people to know that I cared. I didn't want them to think I was ignoring them. But I didn't realize that I was ignoring the person in front of me because they were talking to me, and I was distracted, texting on my phone or, looking at it at a distance. And that's making people feel like you're not paying attention, and it hurts their feelings. Like, well, am I here? Hello. So do yourself a favor when you're in a meeting with a consultant, with a hostess, with a client, all three very important people in your business. Make sure that you turn your phone off. It's when a phone's going, rah, rah, it's distracting, and people can lose their train of thought. They can, it just is annoying, first of all. But especially, what if you're having a heart-to-heart with somebody? Somebody's kind of loading out their emotions with you. Have you ever been to, drop off some orders and, oh gosh, my hair's, and one of your hostesses or your client just kind of just lays out all their, oh my gosh, I just need somebody to talk to, or, you say how they've been, and maybe they break down on you and you didn't expect that. They expect, you expect the average answer of, oh, I'm fine. And maybe they're so emotional. You may not have experienced that before, but I have. I've delivered to somebody and, I was like, oh, have a great day. I hope everything's going well for you today. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you came. You made this, makes me happy. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? She's like, well, it's my birthday today, and my husband hasn't called me, and he's deployed, and I'm worried if he's okay, and da-da-da. And it was the first time I ever met the lady. Like, she literally found me on Facebook. I had what she needed. I went to her house that same day, and that's how I was introduced to her. So if my phone, while she's talking to me, was going like ring, ring, or rah, rah, that would have been a very embarrassing kind of mood change. And so just do yourself a favor, either leave your phone in the car or put it on vibrate, or not even vibrate, just turn it off silent when you're going to meet with a client, because then you're going to be able to actually hear them. Not just listen, but hear them. Same thing with a consultant, same thing with your hostess. If they have some concerns about the hosting process, you're gonna hear it more than if you're like, oh, hold on, let me just a second. I just have to answer this question really fast. Again, I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. It's happened. I do it sometimes, but it's been cut down to such a minimal that I've noticed that the time I have with these people, all of you, my hostesses, my clients, it's so much more valuable, and I understand you all so much more. So that is a big tip, is to make sure when you're doing any type of meeting or, communication with somebody, make sure it's with them. Okay, with that being said, I also want to talk about when you have your tasks that need to be done. Say you need to make thank you cards that day. Say you need to do a training call that day, or whatever that's on your list. in the beginning of your business, we teach you to multitask because we want you to be doing something. So when we hear you say, I'm so busy, I work, I do this, I do that, and because all you have in your head is that you don't have time. So one thing I'm going to tell you is the reason why you don't have time is because you tell yourself you don't have time. That's just a fact. It's, you know, if you make the time and you say, I'm going to make the time, you'll find the time, right? But when you're starting, you haven't kind of created that mindset yet and understanding. The only thing that we can do to help you is to help you see something that you can do. So what I suggest to people, some things that I did is I had 2 small kids at home, an infant and a toddler. So I didn't have a lot of time. My husband was deployed. Is I would multitask just to be doing something, meaning I had an earpiece or the phone was on speaker while I was giving baths, while I was, you know, doing dishes, while I was doing laundry. So things were still getting done, but I was able to still participate in what I needed to do with my business. So that's what you do in the beginning when you're just learning these skills and just trying to figure out life of how to implement this all into your business. But once you've stepped into the mode of this is an actual business, this isn't just a on the side thing, which many of you probably have. Even if you have a full-time job, I really want you guys to understand that there are more consultants in the business that have a full-time job aside from their Scentsy business. And these are directors and above. And it's not because they're not making the money that they, you know, that they can't quit their job. It's they enjoy their job and they enjoy their Scentsy business. And hello, they're making double income for a part-time effort with, you know, more full-time pay. So if I had that luxury, I'd probably do it myself, but I didn't in the beginning. So anyways, understand that your busyness is your busyness. So instead of saying, you know, wouldn't you rather goal yourself to, I've been productive today, or I have a lot on my schedule today? Try to delete the word busy out of your head, because when you're busy, it's your fault. And I'm not going to lie, society's created that word is just a common circumstance. So when somebody says I've been busy, it's just like a common like excuse of like, but an approved excuse to society. Oh, I've just been so busy. Well, we all are. We all have a lot going on. Your circumstance isn't any different. Maybe you have different things that you're doing, but everybody has a lot on their plate. And the difference between the next person is how they handle it. It's not because they have less on their plate than you do. It's just how they handle it and how they prioritize and how they're able to weigh those priorities out. So being able to say, you know what, this isn't a priority. It does need to get done, but I'm going to go ahead and put this on a couple days later from now on that schedule to free myself up in order to do this and get it done. So while you're focused in on getting it done, turn your phone off. Take your Facebook off your phone so you're not getting blings. Now I'm on Google Hangout. So even when my Facebook's not on, I still can hear the blings for some reason because it's the internet. I don't know how that works, but make sure that you're not being distracted, because again, I'm not saying this doesn't happen to me. I'm not saying I'm perfect. It's things that I've noticed that when I'm the most productive and when I'm not, when I'm the most distracted. Now, people that know me personally know that I get distracted easily. I lose my train of thought easily. That's why I can't, you know, I'm the kind of person that I realize I can't let other things distract me. But even if you don't get distracted easily, you will be that much more productive if you focus on the task at hand. It will take you less time to get it done, and you will feel more effective and productive for the day. Okay, so with that being said, I have strategies that I've had to learn in order to make sure that I don't forget things. I used to go through my emails, open them all up, look, even though I didn't have time to follow through with them and to respond. And guess what that would do? That would make me forget that I had those emails in there because they're not lit up anymore, okay? If for some reason I open an email and whatever the content is, I realize I don't have time to address, I will make it unread again and I will star it. So I know that it's a fresh email. But I will generally sit down for my emails when I know I have time to take care of it. But something in the email may end up being something that I just can't take care of today. So I will also utilize a system that's called followupthen.com. Okay. So it will have you say one day at followupthen.com. So it'll re-email you that, knowing that you need to tend to that the next day. If you don't want to tend to it till 5 days or 45 days, you can do that, which is so awesome. But it will come back in your inbox like a fresh email on that day, so you can address it. Another strategy is that I do not open my text messages unless I know that I can actually look at them and maybe respond. Again, with that being said, sometimes I'll think I have the time, I'll open it up, and then I realize, oh, I just can't address this right now. I thought I had 15 minutes, but this is an hour-long thing that I'm gonna have to look into and look it up and da-da-da and whatever, call this person, whatever. So what I will do is I will either copy and paste the message into my, and then I will put it into my own email and email myself the information or the question. So I know I need to address that. Another thing that I will do is I will re-text myself that if it's something that I want to do. Another strategy that I've done, sometimes I do all of them, just depends on what it is that I know I really need to take care of. Sometimes I will, see, I lose my train of thought a lot. No, not sometimes, almost all the time. If it's a task that needs to happen, that's important, that this person can only utilize me to get that resource, I will put in my calendar to address. I will immediately go to my calendar, takes me 2 seconds. I'll say, call back this person, address this, blah, 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 blah. And I will put a time on it and alarms. I will make sure it's like 5 minutes before, 15 minutes, and 30 minutes. So it kind of gets my brain going that I need to be attending to this soon. So those are some strategies that I've done in order to, and sometimes they're just automatic, but I will tell you that I've gotten so used to really relying on this bad boy that if it doesn't get in my calendar, it doesn't happen. So just note, if you don't hear back from me, please email me back, call me back, text me back. It's not because I'm intentionally ignoring you. It's just I am human, and sometimes these strategies don't happen the way I've trained myself to do, because I am, again, things happen. I may have a system that works 90% of the time, but the other 10%, you know, maybe I wasn't feeling good and I wasn't thinking of my strategies I use, these skill levels that I have. And I just was like looking at the text message. Oh, okay, I'll get back to that. You know, so remember, I have bad days too. So I want you to also think about that with your clients. Your clients, they don't have strategy, half of the people. They may be hoity-toity, top career people, but they don't have a job that requires a lot of different tasks that have to be implemented into the calendar at different times of the day like we do. What they do is in their work time. So they get it all done here, and so they don't have to think about it outside of here, right? So they're not trained to do these strategies like make sure you don't open your text message, don't open your emails at this time, this and that, because they may not have as many emails as we do. They may not get as many text messages as we do, whatever. And then also you have to remember, they also don't have the strategy likely to get things done. And just like some of you may be saying, well, that's me, Jess, you know, thanks a lot, you're talking about me. I'm sorry that that may offend some of you guys, but what this conversation's about is maybe to start learning these strategies so you can stop being busy and start being more productive. Because I will tell you, the second you start intentionally training yourself to think about why certain people are making it happen with a job, full-time job, with a Scentsy business, with kids, with sports, with all this stuff, there's something they're doing that you're not. So, or maybe you're doing it, but you're not doing it as effectively or consistently as they are. And so when you ask those questions, you will find that there may be one little missing link that you're not doing, because you may feel like oh, I'm trying to really make myself, you know, this and that. And you feel like you're working. And, but there's either not enough consistency, or you're not prioritizing correctly. And maybe those people or myself, you can contact me, can help you kind of figure out what these priorities need to be and what you can delete out of your life. I share with a lot of my team members, especially my leaders, about delete, delay, diminish, and delegate. Those are how you could become the most productive and successful in life and in your business. Delete the things that don't have to be going on in your life. A lot of people, they will add things like, oh yeah, I'll go pick up your kids, just because I have the time. But then what is that doing? It's taking away from the things you need to do. Your heart wants to help, but you need to be able to say no, because you're putting your own productivity in your life at hand and affecting it. And then you are becoming busy because you're doing a lot of busy work that you don't have to be doing. So deleting those things. One thing the hugest thing, delete television. I'm sorry, TV isn't making you money. TV isn't getting the house clean. TV isn't building your business, isn't building relationships. Make that a luxury of something you do sometimes, every now and then, because that is time that you could be utilizing for your business. So in my emails, it does say, please give me 24 hours to respond. Your email is important to me, but you obviously can't say that on your text message. So let your team members, your clients, your hostesses know that, please call me, text me anytime. I do check my texts and my voicemails frequently, but if you don't hear back from me for a while, sometimes I may be at an event that's all day, but I promise I will get back to you by the next day, if not sooner. But you're giving them an expectation that it's not going to be sooner than later. You're saying that there may be a time that I'm not getting back to you. It's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because I have to be able to stick to a certain schedule in order to focus on what I'm doing. And they have to respect that. You have a life, you have other clients, you have other hostesses, you have other consultants. Yes, their mindset is that they should be the focus of your time, because I think that's just a human nature thing. We all think that we should be that person. As much as we'd like each of you to be that person, we do have to tend to other people, right? So make sure that you are utilizing these small little strategies that I've just shared with you in order to make sure that things aren't slipping through the cracks. Now, I got to go, but the last thing I'd like to say is make sure that because we said that our clients, some of our new consultants and hostesses don't have these strategies in their lives, don't take it personal because they're not calling you back. Don't take it personal that they said they would and they don't. Don't think that they don't like me, they're mad at me, I'm pushing them. Maybe they found another consultant. This is all stuff you're putting in your head. Just keep connecting with them and saying, hey, you know what? I will continue. You have just as just as full of a schedule as I do, it seems like. So I will continue to connect with you until I get a hold of you, so I can make sure I get that order in for you. Or that we can make sure we book that party or talk about your party, or so we can help you get started, whatever the subject may be. You're not begging them. You are following through with what they already said they're interested in. And you can also say, if you could also call me at this number, if it's easier for you to connect with me. But if not, I will continue to call. Now, I will tell you, after maybe the 8th call, you can say, it seems like it's been very hard for us to connect. Go ahead and call me at your time. I'm very happy to work with you. And then give them that outlet that if for some reason you've changed your mind, you're not interested anymore, also please go ahead and shoot me a text, and I won't be happy about it, but I will be courteous enough to take you off my follow-up list, and that'll free me up my time to focus on other people that would like me to give them calls. And, don't say that, but basically you're saying that it's okay if you're not interested anymore, but please let me know, okay? Because I have other things to do. You're not saying it verbally. Again, please don't say what I just said. I was actually speaking what I was thinking, and I shouldn't have done that. But, which sometimes happens, right? But, give them the outlet to say, yes, I'm good. I'm not really interested anymore. So you don't have to be chasing. But if they don't tell you that, if they don't connect back with you, it's just going to take you a little bit longer until they literally say, I'm not calling you back because I'm not interested anymore. Don't be putting stuff in your head that isn't true. All right. I do have to get running. Keep following up until you get your results or they tell you to stop. But again, the way you approach it is you're just following through on your end. You're doing your job. You're doing what you promised you would do on your end. Now, they may not follow through with their end, but you can only control yourself, right? Be very specific with your strategies, and let's focus on deleting busy out of our vocabulary and start being productive. And if we do have a lot on our schedule, that's what it is we have a full schedule today. But you're not busy. You have a full schedule of things that need to be done, and you are guaranteeing yourself and you are challenging yourself to make sure that they get done. If they don't, you put it to the next day. There's always tomorrow. Okay, have a sensational day. Bye.